Hello and welcome back to the Dolecast episode, what I believe is 117. I could be totally off there, but we'll see what happens. I'll fix it in post if we are. We're in our brand new set today with Robbie Mcminn.
Hello.
Back for more.
Yeah.
Back so good he couldn't get enough of it. He's back for some more.
I just love the Dolecast.
Yes, so do we. Sometimes. How are you? Keeping well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Busy.
When were you last on?
I just got back from America, so that was what, June? End of May, June.
Oh yes, you were right before 100 episodes.
99.
Yeah, 99. Couldn't quite reach the heights, but hey, you're the first guest in the new studio.
Makes up for it.
New studio. See, using that phrase already. But yes, very welcome. It's also very close to Christmas time.
It is.
You gigging much?
Yeah.
Flat out on the.
Yeah.
Is that not great though? In that, like, you're just working every night.
Yes, I know. I haven't slept in days.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
But my fingers are sore.
Are you gigging tonight?
No, I'm out tomorrow.
What are you complaining about? No, I'm not joking. You're out tomorrow?
Yes. Tomorrow, off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday this week.
Jeepers. And then, well, Christmas Eve?
No Christmas Eve. Drinking Christmas Eve.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't drink, but Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve, yeah.
That's the rules.
What are you going for?
I'm going to Sydney. Love it.
The home turf?
The home
Yeah.
So
sponsor the podcast.
I've just outed myself. If anybody's like a weird Robbie Mcminn super fan, they know where to find me on Christmas Eve. They'll be there.
The what do you call it? The do you know? Did we speak about this before? You know, Speedy Bites. Manny's a post Sipster meal in Speedy Bites. It is genuinely sensational.
It's so good.
It's now they sold their sofa for a card machine. I think I've mentioned that on a podcast before.
Did you see the fight the other night?
No.
Oh,
I'm in the Sipster. I probably haven't been in the Sipster in 6 months.
There was a video in Speedy Bites.
Oh really?
Two fellas wrecking the head of each other.
In Speedy Bites?
Took the Christmas tree and all down.
Serious? Yeah. Over a garlic chip? That's mad. That's mad.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm trying. What are you going for when you're in the Sipster or the Speedy Bites?
Oh, we had the last time I was over at the 𝐿𝙊𝙑𝙀𝐾𝐿.
Yes.
I think we got a mixed kebab in a wrap with house and garlic.
Oh, do they still have the thing there where I actually haven't been to the Sipster in ages, but like they still have the thing in Speedy Bites where there's like a wee charging port, like you can pay to charge your phone. There was like for ages they had like this wee hub and like, here lads, if you want to charge your phone it's a tenner or whatever, and they give you a cable. But then they had a sofa for ages as well, but then one day the sofa mysteriously disappeared and then a card reader appeared, so we think they sold the sofa for a card machine. Fair. But you know, times are tough. But yeah, Speedy Bites sponsors the pod as well, you know. Maybe I should. Yeah, I'll tell this story in the podcast. There was one of the last times I was at Sipster, it was well over like a year ago. There was a teacher from my school in the Sipster.
I have a story about this exact same thing as well.
Really? A teacher that was in your school?
Yeah.
So he was in the Sipster with a female. I'm not telling it all because I've got to be careful, but also if you know.
Well, you're gonna have to tell me the rest later.
Yeah, pretty much. Lips were smacked. Ooh. I think. I didn't take a picture of it. Someone took a picture of it and I saw it. No, I tell you exactly where it was. It was back when I worked in Centra and I was just finishing a shift in Centra and I wasn't going to go out after, and then someone sent a photo of this guy into the group chat and I was like, I have to get the Speedy Bites as soon as possible. Yeah. Or the Sipster as soon as possible. But yeah, so since we last spoke, you have done quite a lot of things. Tell me about it.
A busy boy.
Yeah.
The last week alone has been non-stop.
Really?
Yeah. I think I captioned my Instagram the other day, 1 week, 4 cities and 4 studios.
4 cities?
My dad kindly informed me that Ballymena doesn't count as a city. But so I said I didn't need to disclose where my cities were.
Yes, of course. 4
cities were Belfast, Dublin, Limerick and Ballymena.
That's class.
Yeah. So since I was last here, what have I done? So I played the Limelight. It was cool. It was really fun.
Yeah.
And then I had quite a chill summer. I was gigging and stuff, but nothing monumental happened. Went on holiday. It was lovely.
Yeah, where'd you go?
Went to Greece.
I went to Greece in the summer.
Did you?
Where'd you go in Greece?
Rhodes.
I didn't go to Greece this summer. What am I talking about? I went to Albufeira. I went to Portugal.
That's not even
went
close.
to Greece the summer before. That's
right,
what I'm thinking of.
yeah.
I went to Malia. It was what was Greece like?
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
I loved it.
I wouldn't. I'm kind of done with like lads' holiday. Was it a lads' holiday? Or was it like just
it was a couple's holiday.
Couple's holiday. Oh, okay.
It's a lovely way to end it, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Together while on holiday?
No. After that. After the fact.
As in,
like a month or two later, but
you and her broke up.
Fond memory to look back.
For a second, I thought you and her were not together anymore and had gone on holiday together, which happened to someone in my school as well. There's people.
I think we would have done that anyway.
They booked so they booked a holiday, booked flights, and then broke up and were like, "Oh, let's just go on holiday anyway." I was like, "That's a movie waiting to happen." Yeah, I went. I thought Malia was good. 𝐿𝙊𝙇𝙀𝙀𝙃 I wouldn't go back.
No,
it was just.
I was always Spain.
I'd go to Spain.
I was always that. We had a house in Spain for
my
whole life.
Yeah,
that I can remember. And that was Spain was like second home.
Right.
I really did enjoy Greece.
Yeah, I think I'd go back to Greece. We stayed in a place called 𝐿𝙊𝙇𝙀𝐾𝐒 or something like that. Yes, possibly that one. Yes, and just like, I mean, I've told this story on the podcast before, but I ended up in a strip club accidentally, because there was a bunch of us were like going home back to the hotel, and then a few of us was like, let's stay out, have a bit more crack for a couple of hours, and we're like, let's go to this bar. I think it was called Lollipops or something.
Red flag.
Yes, red flag. Should have seen it. Bigger red flag was then when I paid €10 in, and you kind of walked in like this sort of dungeony area, and I got down like the stairs, and it was just a full strip club, and like they were like, you gotta sit over on the far side, and we'll come and get you when like you're ready. And I was like, oh my goodness, like, get me out of here, like no. So I was sitting at the far side, and there was a guy, and he was missing an eye.
Right.
And I had clearly some like dodgy glass eye in, and like he had his hand like just over his waist like that a lot of the time, and I was like, this is like exactly what my mother warned me about. Yeah, she was like, be careful going on holiday. And I was like, this is really bad. And these girls came up to us and were like, do you want to go behind the curtain with me and all this stuff? And I was like, lads, stand firm here, like do not turn around. Boys beside me totally gone, like just straight away went. And then I was like, no, like insisted, like I'm not going. And then they then were like, are you gay? And I was like, no, like just
rather
they
not
were like, with someone else if you want it. I was like, no. I was like, I just don't want anything. And then I waited like 10 minutes because they all got 10 minutes each or whatever. And I waited. I saw one of the lads come out from behind the curtain. I was like, thank goodness, like at least I have one mate that I can get out of here and walk out of the hotel. He just tapped his card again and went straight back in. I was like, what are you doing?
Best 10 minutes of his life.
But yeah, I know. He that's the guy that would need it to pay for it. But I'll probably have to cut that out. But no, it was good. I think I'm kind of done with like my lads' holidays and stuff. I've
never been on one, to be fair, but
yeah,
I'm not much of a part.
They're good. Well, we went for a week this summer, and like just towards the end of the holiday, things got tense. You know, you get to that stage where people are like not fussed with each other anymore. So yeah, nothing we can do. But I was gonna ask you was, oh yes, we saw each other since the podcast.
We did
when you were at Common Market.
I was,
yes,
that's so true.
So I was going to a roast battle. I was going to a gig to do a roast battle, and you were at Common Market.
I was. That was a 3 gig day, I think.
3. Yes, I think you told me that you were like straight on somewhere else
before. I had a private one early, then I had Common Market, then I had
private one's good.
Yeah,
they are good.
So much more money. They're not good in terms of like
having a good
energy.
Time.
Yeah. Most of the time you're sitting there going, okay, guys, come on, like,
that's
smile or something.
Yeah.
But like the money's better. But yeah, that was a busy day.
And I met your father.
You did?
I met the Godfather, yeah.
You know, it's so funny. So I was in Limerick last week.
Yeah.
Right, this is a long story.
Yeah.
May as well get into it.
Go for it.
So whenever I was in America, I said about playing the show in Austin, blah, blah, blah. And there was a guy that played the show with us as support before me, actually. His name was 𝘿𝙊𝙇𝙀𝐻.
Right.
He's like a big weightlifting coach, sort of influencer, TikTok, YouTube, all that stuff. But he's a musician, and we spoke for 3 minutes in the green room, if even. Like, literally was, hello, what's your name, what's your Instagram? Walked away, and like he started following me on Instagram. I was like, this guy's like 100,000 followers. Like, who is he?
Yeah.
Walked away, never heard anything from him. And then he put on his story a couple of months later saying that he was coming to London to play a show, and I was like, oh, I'm going to try my best to get over. And that was in September, and he basically turned around 2 days before and was like, "Do you want to come over and do support?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
So booked the flight straight over, went and played Camden Assembly in London.
Class.
Sold out show, great crack, all the fun. So that was that. We were chatting away. He had said that he was coming over to sort of Ireland to do some recording and work on bits and pieces and stuff. So he texted me literally, when was some Fender? 2nd of December. So
yes, I was really
Sunday, no, the Friday before that, so whatever that was. Texted me, was like, "I'm going to be in Dublin on Monday. Could you be there?" And I was like, "Well, funnily enough, I'm in Dublin on Monday anyway, because I'm going to see some Fender." So I was like, "Yeah, of course." So that was fine. That was the plan. I was going to go to the studio during the day, work on stuff with him. And I was going to go to the show, and it was all going to be magical. Comes around to Sunday night at like 12:30. Like, I'm getting the train at 8:30 the next morning.
Yeah.
It's 12:30, and he texts me, he goes, "Okay." And I went, "Huh?" That was all the message said. Hadn't heard from him in 2 days, and he just said that, and I was like, "Okay, what?"
Yeah.
So it turns out the studio isn't in Dublin, and by countryside they mean countryside. It's in Limerick.
Right.
And I was like, "That's not close."
Yeah.
I was like, "I can't get a taxi to Limerick."
Yeah.
So he was like, "Right, how can we make this work?" So I drove to Dublin on the 2nd of December.
Mm-hmm.
Stayed in Dublin all day. Went to the show that night. Sam Fender, great show by the way.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Next morning, woke up, drove to Limerick. Was in the studio all day in Limerick from Tuesday right through to Thursday evening. Drove 5.5 hours home on Thursday evening, and then played a gig from 11 to 1, and then played another gig the next day, and then another one the next day. So,
were you not just at a stage where like I can barely function anymore?
I got stuck in traffic on the M50 coming home from Dublin.
That is grim. That is.
And I sat there being like, can I just can I quit?
Yeah.
Like, did you ever get it whenever you get to a point where you're so frustrated? It's like me saying about the flights with America.
Yes.
I was literally just like, I just want to like curl up in the ball and disappear.
Because you're kind of like, you're stuck in like, not a situation, but you're stuck in like a specific period of time. You're like, I can't do anything right now. Like, I just have to sit here.
Literally.
Yeah, it is grim.
But anyway, so we went to Limerick, and he had said to me, he was like, "If you've got any tunes, bring them. Any songs you've written, this, that, and the other, bring them down." So I did. I went in, and I just sort of thought I was going down to write some stuff with him, give my 2 cents, be a fly on the wall, really. But I walked in, I had this song written. It was called "Warm As You," and it was just a sweet ditty that I wrote in 15 minutes, nothing much.
Yeah.
I'd sort of thought like, oh, maybe I'll record this part of the next, because we'll talk about that in a minute. So that was just a tune that I thought, like, okay. So I played it for him, and he's like, "Yeah, you can't, like, I can't take this on you." I was like, "But like, I'm giving it to you." He's like, "No, let's collab." I was like, "Are you serious?"
Right,
so we recorded this song in a day. There's between the producers that worked on it. Here's my flex. This is a huge flex.
Yeah. Love this.
The producers that worked on it, there's like over 2 billion streams, 3 platinum records, and one of the guys, this is getting cut. One of the guys. So that was cool.
Right, okay.
Yeah, sorry, you're gonna have such a fun time doing this now. So anyway, yeah, that was cool. So it'll help boost my Spotify and help push and all that stuff.
Class.
And yeah, it's been busy.
So like when you say like you write a song like that in like 15 minutes, like, and I know we'll talk about it, but like you've got an album coming out. Yeah. In terms, so like, is there specific songs on that like they take you ages to write? Some that are really quick, some that are
like the album is going to be 11 tracks.
Yeah.
So there you go, officially released. That is how many tracks is on it.
And when's that out?
30 January.
Wow, that's
terrifying.
Yeah, but like, I know what you mean when like it is, because even like I'll tell you about it after. We're working on something to go out in January. And you're sitting there and you're putting effort into it, and like even with things like Dolecast Live, you're getting ready and you're going. You just hope people respond to it, because if they don't, then like
that's my fear about this show.
Yeah, of course.
That is. I am terrified about it.
Yeah,
and I will openly admit that.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things, I'm a nobody,
yes.
And especially in January time and stuff, people like I confidently say I could go to Australia and sell out a show quicker than I could sell it out in Belfast.
I know exactly where you're coming from.
Like,
yes,
genuinely. My top 5 cities on Spotify are Sydney, Melbourne.
Yeah,
I don't know why I said it like that. Melbourne.
Yeah, Melbourne.
Perth.
Yeah.
UT9, Perth, and somewhere else. Like, I could 100% could easily.
And I think so. Like, I put Dolecast Live on sale, and I don't mind saying this, on probably mid-November, and was like, listen, it's not until April, so like, and the room holds a lot, and I was like, listen, hopefully we'll shift a few tickets in the first day, and we sold 3 in the first day, and I was like, this is not good, because I was like, obviously it's months away and Christmas is coming up, and you're like, I'm telling myself all these things in my head of like factors of why tickets aren't shifting, but with every post you put out about it, you're like, I really hope people buy tickets, because there would be nothing worse than, like, if the room doesn't sell out, no big deal, but there'd be nothing worse than turning up to an empty room and like doing what you've planned.
That's my thing. Like, I'm putting so much, like, obviously independently as an artist, like this whole album I've recorded all of my own money. Like, you know, I was breaking my back working extra gigs to cover, getting recordings done, getting extra bits and pieces done to the album, getting it mixed, mastered, all that fun. And it took a lot more extra cash than we thought it was going to, but you know, worth it in the end.
Yes, yeah.
But even with a show, like, it's a full band show.
Class.
Like, it's, you know, it's between room hire, paying the band, paying a sound engineer.
It's all expensive. Yeah.
It's crazy. And like, that's what I've been saying. I need like 150 tickets. Like, see if I had sold 150 tickets, I'd be so happy. Just to, you know.
It's the kind of unknown of like, Dolecast is similar capacity, and like, it's just the unknown of like, see if someone told me, here, see, come April, room will be full and you'll be happy, like, no big deal. It's the just pestering people now to be like, have you bought your tickets yet? Please buy your tickets.
And like, this is what I keep saying. Like, I was speaking to one of my friends last night. I was like, you coming to the show? And she was like, it's £9. And I turned around and I was like, you pay £8 for Limelight to get hammered?
Yes.
Come support me. Like, I'm doing this on my own dime. Like, I'm a nice enough guy. Like, you know, give me a hand. Like, I'm not asking for much. It's, you know, it's crazy, but it's
Dolecast Live's a $5, guys. So they do no, but like, yeah, I know what you mean. Like, it's just.
It's not even £9. It's £8 for the ticket, and Eventbrite take a $138 fee.
I put the tickets out for Dolecast Live. They're a $5, and I got a message being like, mate, it says £6 13p on Eventbrite. I'm like, yeah, booking fee, you know, but like, that's exactly what that is. It's just, I mean, at the end of the day, you're trying to convince people to fork over their hard-earned money to, you know, go and see you.
And like, this is the same as what you said. Like, I released those tickets when I was in Limerick, so that was 2 weeks ago now. No, around that. It would have been. We're in the middle of December. That's terrifying. That is so scary.
I know, Christmas is snuck up on me anyway.
It's next week.
Yeah.
That's so scary. Anyway, I released those tickets, and like, I've sold a few and like covered some loss, but like, that's what I'm saying to myself. I'm like, after Christmas, like, people don't go out in January anyway. Like, we know that. But that's why I was also like, I'm releasing an album in January. Like, your Taylor Swifts aren't releasing albums in January, so it's new music for people that aren't going to be listening to new music. And there's nothing happening in January. Yeah. So like, put on a wee night, people might get it. So I'm praying and hoping that, you know, after Christmas monies, etc.
Well, that's it. I think people pick up, I've heard this from a lot of comedians and stuff who talk about selling shows and stuff. They're like, oh, there's like a really dry spell for ages, and then right before the show, it really picks up.
Pushes, like I feel like
why would doing that, guys?
In the forefront of people's mind is Christmas.
Yes,
and like,
of course.
Past Christmas, there's nothing happening.
Yeah, of course.
It just ends at Christmas Day.
I've already spoken to you about this, but I put out the announcement for the live podcast. I had it in my head. I was like, right, Monday, 10 a.m. Like, here we go. And then on that exact day, about 10 other comedians announced they were doing the SSE, which like, and I was freaking out, going, do I delay it? What do I do? Blah, blah, blah. Just went with it anyway. And then they're all obviously all posting the same gig, and maybe it got lost in transition. I don't know, but it's one of those things. It's the getting there is like so scary. Of like getting to the night.
It's so scary as well. Like, when you're doing it on your own.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I even gone down and working with Zach and stuff. He had a team around him telling him, you need to be here at this time to do this, and this is what you're recording, and you know, like, you've got this show coming up, and this is what's happening, and like, I played Limelight last week, actually. And it was a glimpse of how cool it could be, you know, like, they're all running about after me, and do you want anything? And you're like, this is crazy. Who am I?
Exactly.
You know, I was just rolled out of my bed an hour ago. And you know, but I don't know. It'll be fine. It'll work out.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. cut to me with 5 people in the crowd at Dolecast Live being
That's
like,
me
thank you
terrified.
so much for coming out, guys.
That's me. Like, I have this song called the I-45.
Yeah.
And like, it's the opener of the show, and it comes in, it's like,
yeah.
like real hard rocky shit. And I'm just gonna walk out, and there's gonna be 3 people standing
Dad,
there.
what do you think?
One of them's my mum. It's just like, whoa.
yeah.
It's crazy.
Where is it? Elbow Room?
Yeah, upstairs the Points.
Right, okay. Oh, very good. Yeah.
Which is a big
And even, I
venue.
suppose even on a night, you'll probably get a few people
I hope so, yeah.
head up,
Curious.
you know. But so in terms of this album,
Yes.
when we last spoke on the podcast, was it something that was at the back of your mind? No, you just put it together after that.
I had sort of thought about putting out like an acoustic EP type thing,
Mhm.
you know, a 4 or 5 track song. I know, 4 or 5 track EP.
Yeah.
And just leaving it at that. And then I looked at sort of schedules and stuff. I was like, I'm really busy.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just going to do an album.
Yeah.
It's like, if not now, when? You know, what could happen tomorrow?
Totally.
That I couldn't do. So decided, bit the bullet, came back, took a refresh summer. September time came around. I had a breakup, obviously. Went to London, played that show, and from that day forward, like, the gas hasn't stopped. I'm waiting for a day off.
Yeah.
Which is good.
It's the way to be. Robbie looking out and looking forward.
Amen.
But put that on a t-shirt. But so what's it called?
It's called Somewhere Between.
Somewhere Between. And is there any significance to that?
Yeah,
title?
it's like I'm somewhere between where I was and somewhere where I'm going.
Deep.
Yeah.
That's the no, that's really deep. And maybe I've seen the wrong thing. Is the cover your eye?
That was 3010. That was one of the singles off it.
Right. Okay.
We actually haven't got the cover sorted yet.
Ooh.
I'm sort of nervous about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose it's also something as well. You want the cover to be something that people go, oh well.
Yeah.
Click on
Exactly.
that,
and I thought like 3010's eye was quite cool.
Yeah.
That was my eye, and I made that
That
in
is
Canva.
right. Here, Canva.
It's great.
It is a life. Do you pay for?
Yeah,
premium?
I bought the premium.
Yeah,
it's so worth it.
It is unbelievable.
So worth
It's
it.
the greatest thing ever. Shout out Canva sponsored podcast. But I so the single 33 was it 3310. Where'd that come from then?
So yeah, people keep asking me this. They're like, "Why is it just numbers?"
Yeah.
So it's the day I finished the album, 30th October. The day we finished tracking the album. It was the last song I recorded for the album. It's the last song chronologically in the album, which is why the last line is "I'm only getting started." You see, I think that's a pretty cold way to finish an album. You get right to the end, and then it's just like that.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
I don't. You've 11 songs in the album.
11 songs in the album.
Mm-hmm.
3010 is going to be on the album. Heavy Hands is going to be on the album, and Outlawed song came out on Friday. It's also going to be on the album. So we're doing a thing called like Waterfalling.
So like I do just sprinkle them, yeah.
Just letting.
And then is there something that you're?
There's only 3 coming out from the album.
Right. Okay.
So.
And you'll just hang on the other ones.
Hang on the other ones.
Yeah.
There's another 5, 6. I'm not Maz.
And
that's why the music.
I know this is a grim question. Is in terms of the album, is there a song on it that you're like? It's probably my least favorite.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like everybody,
yeah.
it's like looking at
There
your kids.
is,
There's always at least.
Weirdly, everybody I've showed it to absolutely adores the song.
Right. Okay.
And I don't know whether it's me looking back. So, like 2 or 3 of the songs were written around the last time that I was with you. So that was back in
based
May.
on the Dolecast. That's heartbreaking.
It actually was.
That's lovely, man. Thanks.
So the I-45 was written in America. Which is one of the tracks.
Yeah.
There was another song called Country and Me. It was written just before I went to America.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was one more called Texas Skies I wrote in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And so them, they are sort of the older tunes that were a little further behind.
Yes.
The writing and stuff has sort of caught up even within the last 6 months. You know, it's a lot more polished and well, I think so personally, compared to those anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Don't want to sound big-headed. But I'm very proud of the music that I'm putting out now, and I'll openly say that.
Yeah.
You know, like, they're much more simple is a better way to put it. So like looking at those, I go, you know, take them or leave them. But everybody's like, Country and Me, everybody loves. Like, I absolutely adores that song, and I'm going,
it's okay.
It's all right.
Yeah, it's not. It's not about it.
It's a radio song.
Yes,
it's a song you would hear in the radio because it's just simple, easy to get, catchy chorus.
You've been back in Q since?
Yes, I was.
Yeah.
When was I on? I actually did a thing spontaneously 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
I was up tracking drums for the album. We went to the market in between whenever they were mixing it, and Amy was there.
Yes.
And she's like, I need to do some interviews here, and you've got an album coming out. Do you want to talk about your album? And I'll ask you about
yes,
Rocket.
please.
And I went,
yes, yes,
of course
please.
I do.
I'm also doing the Elbow Room in January.
Yeah, I did. She asked about it. It was great. It was so good.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Got the link for the tickets. Yeah.
I've done a couple of things. It's been a busy few months.
So, like, in terms of when you're in the studio, because I've obviously you know what this is like. It's 2 cameras and a podcast. One camera hasn't worked for half the episode. And so you're when you're in a proper professional studio that you're paying like big bucks for. What is the process like when you're going in? Folks, hello. We are midway through this podcast with Robbie, and it's my turn to tell you about our sponsors, 𝐿𝙊𝙇𝙀𝑒𝐿. Folks, there's a huge stigma that you can only do barbecuing during the summer. That is not true. We're in the winter months now, and it doesn't matter. You can still barbecue all year round. As well as that, if you've maybe missed Christmas because you've been pussyfooting about, you've missed Christmas, doesn't matter. You can still get reduced prices on barbecues, heaters, stoves through the Go Barbecue Instagram throughout the whole year. Guys, it's a no-brainer if you want to do it. Also, the fun doesn't stop there. 𝐿𝙊𝙇𝙀𝙀𝐾𝐒 raffles are an Instagram account that you guys need to follow as well, because they are doing very, very, very cheap tickets for very expensive prices. There was one they put out the other day, load of lovely rubs and a thing that checks the temperature of the meat. Guys, I'm not going to pretend to be a culinary expert here, but also I know a good deal when I see one. They call me the dealer. So the doler, we'll see. But guys, on a serious note, it's not to be sniffed at. 𝐿𝙊𝙇𝙀𝙀𝐾𝐒 are great. So lap it up. Back to the podcast.
Well, this is the thing.
Uh-huh.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Because I recorded the whole album in a studio in Ballymena. It was like a converted garage, and it was literally just like no bigger than this room.
Mm-hmm.
Just me and a producer. That was it. And then I went to Limerick, and I walked in, and there's a session guitarist to my left. Zach's in front of me. There's a producer working on the keys or on the mixing board and the rest of it. There's another producer over there working on different samples. There's another guitarist, and you're like, there's so many things going on. There was one day in Limerick whenever we were working on 4 songs at once. 4 tunes, 3 rooms.
Yeah.
One time.
That is wild.
That blew my mind.
Yeah.
I was loving it. It was so good. But like I wrote majority of the album in the studio.
Right, okay.
Like I would have walked in, I would have been like, but this is what we're recording today, and then went, no, I don't like it, and rewrote.
Yeah.
Or wrote a new song completely. So there's like 4 of the tunes that were completely written on the sofa in the studio that day, which was probably really silly and not,
Like, would that take you a while when you're in there, or would you just
No,
go,
I feel
what
like
about
the
this,
pressure
what about
was
this?
like, I need to get it done.
Yeah.
There's no F spots.
Yes, and that's what I mean. Would you be, no, don't worry, would you be like very nervous when you're in the studio?
No, not anymore.
Yes.
I think the first time,
Like, a bit of pressure's on to like make sure you're not
the
messing
first
up.
time, is that going to ruin your set?
No, we're right.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry.
The first time that I went in, I recorded the cover of 𝐿𝙊𝙇𝙀𝐾𝐒, which is no longer on Spotify, and I had very many angry messages about those 2 being taken down.
Okay.
Which is nice.
That's good, yeah.
It's a good thing.
You'd
But it's
rather
also
have someone go, thank goodness.
but also rather than go, we like your song's better.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yes.
I sort of walked in and felt very easily led.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, let's do that.
Mm-hmm.
But now I walk in, I'm like, right, this needs to go here, this needs to go here. And even when I'm working with my drummer's great. Like, very, very good drummer. We do a lot of stuff together, play a lot of the bar gigs. No, all the bar gigs and stuff even together. He's played on the whole album. And bar 2, he's playing on the show, like very, very tight. But even now I'll go into him and I'll be like, right, you need to like, I said to him the other day, I used the words, you need to open that hat more. Like I know about drums, but like it made sense and it worked. I think I've learned a lot about the studio in the last week alone. After spending time, like I recorded this is a cool flex. Last week I recorded in Dublin in Camden Studios, which is where like Niall Horan recorded his last album, 50 Cent's recorded there, the Pogues recorded there, Sinead O'Connor, like the list just goes on and on and on. The producer used to play with the Rolling Stones. He played with 𝘽𝙀𝙀 and like crazy stuff.
And you walk in like that. You need to open that hat more, man.
Yeah,
open that up, man.
That vocal's too high. No, literally. But like I recorded a guitar part on it last week, and like I'm standing there going, "Why am I here?"
Is there a real sense of a wee bit of imposter syndrome?
Yeah. There was when I went to Limerick, and the more I warmed up into it. Pardon me. You know, like I felt more comfortable in the studio space in general.
Yeah.
But it's crazy. It's just crazy. I think I'm that tired and that busy that I haven't actually fully comprehended what's went on in the last month. I think I'll be sitting on Christmas Day like eating my steak, my stuffing.
Mum got that steak
Christmas Day.
We're always having steaks in the sipster on Christmas Day. Yeah.
You know, just being like, what's actually going on? Like whenever the world goes quiet for an hour.
Yeah.
That's whenever.
Well, that's why I think I was telling my girlfriend the other day. I was like, I think that's why I love Christmas. It's just like there's zero FOMO on Christmas Day unless you're underprivileged and don't get anything. But like, you know, say how it is. But like, there's everybody's doing the same thing. Everybody's with their family. To an extent. No, you know what I mean? No, like everybody's together. There's no one's out doing other stuff when you're in, and like the whole world stops for like one day, and you get to like just take in of like, right, what's happened? What's that?
Yeah, that's I can't wait. But then I have to go play the Dirty Onion on Boxing Day, and then it all goes back to
straight up back in the 90s. Where are you New Year's Eve?
Dirty Onion, 11. Oh, in the countdown.
You're doing the countdown?
3-piece band.
I mean, are you nervous about how you?
I'm quite scared about that. Like, I don't get scared for bar gigs, but I'll tell you how it went.
Yeah.
So I was in the studio, funny enough, because I've lived in studios for the last 2 months.
Yeah.
I was in the studio, and the guy from the Dirty Onion texts me, and he goes, "What are you at New Year's Eve?" And we had sort of talked about this like Christmas residency, so it was sort of part of it. But so he texts me, and was like, "What are you at New Year's Eve?" I says, "Nothing at the minute. You know, do you need what do you need?" And he was like, "I get that." He just went, "Right, no worries. Get back to you soon with the time." And I thought he was going to text me and be like, you know, 3 to 5 1-piece work. And he texted me back. He's like, "Do you want to do 11 to 1 and do the countdown and make it a 3-piece band?" I went,
yeah. Just
of course I do.
Big deal as well. Yeah.
You know, this is like, do everybody else just sounds like a wee bar gig, but you know,
it's more if you say no, there's any number of people that can do it instead of you, and it's nice to
be asked,
be given that.
Like this is the graft that, like, you know, I've played in the worst places possible. I've played the 4 people, you know, I've played all these awful places before, and I've grafted for the last year to try and get somewhere like the Dirty Onion, Thirsty Goat, and all the good sort of cathedral bars. And now to be asked to do that it's quite like, okay, this is cool.
You do you notice yourself doors opening that this time last year just weren't there?
Yeah.
Because of things you've done or things you put out or connections you've made?
Yeah, definitely. Like even the whole, you know, the different studios and stuff like that there. I left school, I explained about it, we got deep. Like, you know, I left school a year ago, and think a year later I would be saying that I've just recorded with this massive artist, and you know, I have an album coming out on my own accord, and you know, I have a headline show. I'm going over to England next year to play in festivals. Like you wouldn't, like I would have told you to wise up. Yeah, you wouldn't be like, no.
Yeah. Well, like literally just for the started, you took a photo of the set, and you were like, if you showed this set to us in 2019, we were sitting in your bedroom, like speaking into just a laptop, like there was no microphones or anything. Like you would tell, wise up, but. Yeah, bit of progress. It's taken half a decade, but we're getting there. You know? So speaking of Christmas, what have you asked for?
I didn't ask for anything actually. I sort of got told what I was getting. Yeah, a day off,
a break,
a good night's sleep, please, and thank you.
Yeah.
No, I got my in-ears molded, for stage. Like
the things. Yeah.
I have such a weird thing about them. Like some people hate them, some people love them. Some people can't be bothered using them, but they will have them. I can't play without them. Like,
so it's the sort of thing that you can only hear yourself?
Yeah, I hear myself, the guitar, a bit of the drums.
Right, okay.
The bassist. You just hear you can't hear much when you're on stage because the speakers are obviously out.
Yes.
So it helps you hear where you're going. But I have been using these like Amazon ones, which everybody else uses as well. They're 100%, but I keep breaking them. Like they keep just popping, like the ears. There was one night I was playing Filthies and took this, I'm on fire. And I did, at the very end. Yeah. And the left one just popped. Completely destroyed. Just stopped working. Went, I don't want that anymore. So I've literally must have spent about £100 in the last year on these like wee crap earphones.
Yeah.
So my mummy was like, we'll go get it done. They're so cool. They're so cool.
Really?
They've got little bullhorns and all on the outside.
Oh, why? We custom and all?
Yeah.
Mcminn 7 down the side or something. So what do they call it?
In-ears.
In-ears?
Yeah.
Where do you get those done?
London Dairy. Dairy, London Dairy.
Don't
Down
worry.
there. Dairy City.
Is it weird to get it molded? Or is it just
Yeah, it was a bit strange, but like it's more weird putting them in now. Like I got them the other day, and obviously at Christmas, but I had to try them on to make sure they fit.
Not allowed to use them till
It was
Christmas.
strange.
Yeah.
So weird. Like you have to like turn them, and because the other ones just stick in. They're like with earphones.
Yeah.
These ones crazy.
But they're like, and it's the sort of thing. It sounds stupid. They're molded to your ears, so like no one else can.
No one else can use them.
No one else can. Yeah. It's like Cinderella.
They're expensive, and my mum was like stressing about them coming in the post because they took longer than expected. And I was like, Mum, nobody's gonna steal them. They can't use them. They're
I've got Robbie Mcminn's in ears.
They're only for me. You know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But my granny got me a Telecaster, like a guitar.
Nice.
And it is gorgeous. You want to see it? It's so pretty.
Nice.
And it's sat in my living room for the last month. I just keep looking at it. Just like poking my head. It's in a bag, but
yeah. See, that's funny. I've just asked for Lego. Before you were here, my dad every year does this big, huge like winter Lego village, and it was on. There's another one of these tables next door, and it was on 2 of these, and this whole room was just covered in like, and you can still see some of it over there where he's moved it, just like this huge winter it's all underneath as well. And I walked in yesterday and was like, we're using this room tomorrow for the first time for the podcast, and it was just covered in like this huge winter thing, and I was like, I should probably get this moved like beforehand, but and be fair to him, he did it. You can see the train track from where the train is on it. Yes,
sounds quite cool.
Moving train, guy's nuts.
I mess with it highly though.
Yeah, guy needs to sort himself out. I just asked for a little Lego, man.
Yeah, fair. I didn't ask for anything. I'd been moaning about my ears. I was going to get them done myself, and then I spent all the money on them.
Did your mum come to you and be like, "Listen, we'll do it"? Yeah.
She was like, "Just go book it. Just book it." So I was like, "Brilliant."
I mean, have you had any gigs since we last spoke? I know you mentioned earlier about like just having like just being fed up, but like, have you had any gigs you're like, it's just grim?
Multiple.
Because I have.
Yeah.
Multiple. One. Let me tell you.
1 month at least.
Yeah. Well, one a week, man. And I gig once a week usually. No, I'm joking.
But it's money at the end of the day.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Just have to grin and bear it. Like, I'm very blessed. I'm in a very good position. You know, I'm making good money for doing something that I love, and I feel stupid complaining that, you know, I've had a rough gig whenever I'm literally playing music for a couple of hours. I suppose in terms of comedy and music it's very different. Like, for a rough gig for me would be no one laughs at my jokes, or there's no one there. Both have happened in the same night. What is like a rough gig for similar, like if there's like generally nobody there.
No one laughs.
No one laughs, or too many laughs. That's generally the worst. Whenever they laugh at you. If there's nobody there, or if there is people there and they just aren't receptive, I hate it so much. I mean.
Or just, have you ever had something where, and Ian had this recently, where like it's nothing to do with the audience, it's nothing to do with you, and don't name names, but a promoter messes something up, or something happens, or a booker messes something up or puts you in a place where like there will be no atmosphere, or like because of what has happened pre-gig, you just know already this gig's not going to
go. I'm very blessed. I pick my gigs and pick and choose. Like, it's up to me. So I'll generally take somewhere, you know, if I don't like the vibe, or not necessarily the vibe, but if, you know, even if I'm busy. No, I pick my own gigs, which is good. So, you know, you get to pick and choose sort of whenever you're booked and busy and blessed and all the rest of it. Booked and blessed.
Yeah.
High five. I keep doing this. I don't know what it is.
Booked and blessed. Yeah,
High five in the air. So it's different. Yeah, it is very different. You know, like I would rather have somebody telling me, right, this is where you're booked this week, go do it.
Yes. Like, has Batman taken a step back in terms of?
No, Batman is at the forefront.
Yes, he's still on the ship.
I bought him a new toy to play with.
Right. Okay.
So we were obviously he was doing the sound and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
And you know, girls.
He's a very nice man when I met him. He's a very nice man when I met him. Yeah.
Girls were coming off the stage and all, and I'm like sort of standing there flirting, and they're like, "Who's that?" And I'm like, "Dad."
Yeah.
It's just my dad sitting behind me.
Yeah.
So I bought him a wireless mixer, and then bought myself an iPad. You want to see him? He like runs around there playing with.
It's one of those ones where you can from the iPad you can. Yeah.
He's like walking around the Dirty Onion,
class.
like just playing.
Yeah.
So that was his Christmas present 4 months ago. Like, that's for my job, but he loves it.
Yeah.
Much more handy as well.
Yeah.
So that's, yes, he is. He's still very much at the forefront. In terms of like the social medias and all, like I've sort of stepped up my game a little bit. You know, all the stories and all you see are me, etc. He hasn't done a story in like a year. I don't know. I'm saying that as if he'd done them recently.
Oh, as in like he would record you while you were gigging?
Yeah, different bits and pieces. But like I've been quite good at sort of posting them and trying to schedule posts, etc. But no, that is there as ever. And I don't think I'd be doing it without him.
Absolutely. It's again blessed to have someone that's like so supportive of what you're doing.
Yeah, it is. It's nice. It's a change.
So then from here, where do you go? So obviously you've album coming out.
Album comes out in the 3rd,
and then
headline show a week later.
You're a pretty busy man, like you're busy. Yeah.
Which, looking now in hindsight, isn't probably a great idea because like I kind of want people to know the song. So unless people are going to listen to the whole album all day, every day for a week, they're probably not going to. But if there's people in the room, I'll be happy. I'll be grateful if there is 10 people there at the end of the day. You know what I mean? If it comes to it, we have to push it back a little bit or change it around. It's no big issue. It's one of those things. We'll work on that. But yeah, I have a couple of dates booked in England next year, which is cool.
Nice.
So Batman's coming with me.
Yes.
I got
taking
him. I got him on
Batwing over.
Yeah. I got him on the. I was like, can he come?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll pay for his flights and all as well. I'm like, that's phenomenal.
Love that.
So we've got accommodation and all the rest of it.
There's nothing better than fleecing someone. Yeah.
So no, I need him there to be fair because I can't do travel on my own anymore.
Yeah.
That's where I draw the line.
Absolutely.
But yeah, no, busy. I'm excited for Christmas.
Oh, hey, me too. Podcast takes a 2-week break. So it does. I've decided that.
Right now.
Yeah, no, yeah, we're done. No, in terms of like, I know what you mean. Just like flat out.
Yeah.
And people, I think there's a lot of times people just go, "Oh, Daniel, you tell jokes for 5 minutes and then you record a podcast for an hour." There's a lot of stuff happens
in between,
in the background.
Yeah.
Editing, doing all this stuff, making sure.
I know exactly where you mean.
For people not watching anyway, you know.
And that bothers me because like. People are like, "Oh, you're just recording an album. What are you moaning for?" I'm like, I just recorded an album. Yeah, that's what I'm moaning for.
It's a lot of.
It's so much work and it's stressful and it's crazy and it's different when you're doing it on your own. Like it took me 4 months to get this album perfect. You know, well, I say perfect to me.
Yes. Don't worry.
I
thought you were having. Honestly, for a second, I thought you were having an epileptic fit. Yeah.
Oh no! I actually do take fits.
God, man.
But that's another story again.
You have an epileptic fit?
Not epilepsy.
Yes.
It's non-epileptic attack.
Okay.
Different side altogether.
Right.
From stress, etc.
Yes.
But like I spent 4 months getting this album perfect, and now it's like ready to go out.
Yes.
And I'm just sitting thinking, what if they hate it? Like, what if it goes out and everybody just goes, "This is awful"?
Yes, I know what you mean.
And I spent so much money, time, blood, sweat, and a lot of tears. Like so many tears, it's actually embarrassing to admit.
No, but I understand what you mean.
And like a lot of them were happy tears. It was like, "Oh, I'm recording an album." A lot of them was like, "This, I'm recording an album." Like, crazy.
And is it so when you're making the songs? I have no idea when it comes to making music. Do you write the words first and find the tune after, or do you kind of do it simultaneously? Or
I don't know. People ask me this all the time. I can't say I have much of a method.
Right.
There's no method to the madness. Like I was playing the guitar last night, and I had this like I was playing an open tune, and it was beautiful tune, and I was playing this wee riff, and I was like, "Yo, that'll actually sound really nice." And there's wee moments like that, but then there's sometimes like a song me and Zach wrote whenever we were in Limerick.
Yeah.
It just one line came and then it sort of set the whole tone for the rest of the song. And then walking down the street in Limerick, we came up with this tune or this line, and then used it again next week in Dublin. Like different wee bits and pieces like that. It comes together. Like I've constantly got my notes open, like you're sitting in the car talking rubbish with your friends, and you go, "Oh, that's actually quite a good idea." But there's no method. It's just madness, really.
Yeah,
it goes.
So you said you're playing a festival next year?
Yeah, East Sussex.
Glastonbury? No,
I would love to play Glastonbury. That would be
if you were so you're setting up your own festival.
Yeah.
Who have you got around you?
Ooh.
And where is it? And what's
Do you mean like what's my acts?
Yes.
Right.
Acts, name, location.
Oh Lord, this is a good idea actually.
Carrick.
It's
Carrick Castle. Yeah.
Castle Fest.
Yeah.
That could actually be a really cool place to have a festival.
Yeah. Carrick Castle.
Yeah, Carrick Castle right inside the grounds.
Yeah.
That's a great idea because I have such weird music taste. Like obviously I'm singing country music, but then like in the car on the way up, who was playing? Sam Fender was playing, obviously. Wonder Horse were playing. The Cooks were playing. you know, this random weird blend of things, and then Zach Top comes on and Zach Bryan, and then you're like, this is so weird. I don't know. I'd love to do like a half and half, like an indie rock half. Country. Like, could you, I think that would be right up my street. Like Zach Bryan at 5, Wonder Horse at 7. Crazy.
What would you call it?
I don't know. That's a great idea.
Castlefest.
Castlefest is great.
Castlefest.
Nice ring.
Do you ever see the wee guy that sits? It's not an actual person that sits at the top of Car Castle.
Yes.
See, as a child, I used to think
it was real. Some
job, like just chilling at the top every day. Car Castle. Rave lights now. Oh, fog and all. That'll be class. Crazy. Let's get it done. I do a tight 5 at the start. Come out to nothing. Warm the crowd up. Anyone any good jobs? So, and then you're doing that in England. When's that?
July.
And
then there's been talk of a sort of tour
support
stuff. So we're just waiting to find out finalization.
Yes.
This is crazy. Like, it's actually wild.
Yeah.
I don't deserve anything.
But do you ever get when you're like, do you ever get when you're talking like, and it's been plenty of times, and I think even from the summer to now, we've had chats about stuff, and we're mentioning things, and you go, man, I can't believe we're even talking about this.
Yeah,
that this is a thing.
every day.
That this is like a, like either who we're in contact with or who we're speaking to or what is happening around us, and even stuff that like maybe passes us by.
Yeah.
Like there was something, I'll tell you after what it is. Passed me by in the summertime. Not a big deal in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
And I was raging for it because it's just come out. I was raging at the time.
I think I know what you're...
Yeah. And I was raging at the time, and then I was like, listen, it was nice to even get a message to be considered. And like, it's just crazy to be in the running. I was in the States, so I couldn't, like, I was like, I can't be there, or else I would love to. And it was nice to just get offered.
It's almost nice for you to turn them down instead.
Yeah, sorry lads, maybe next time. Maybe next time, lads.
Sorry.
And then I watched it with tears in my eyes, but yeah. So like, if you were collabing, with Alive or Dead, we'll go.
Oh, okay.
Who you going with?
You see, like, I think months ago I would have said Zach Bryan or somebody, but I've changed up everything so much. The whole vibe and even music that I listen to is so different. I would love, like, my dad hates them, but all I've been listening to recently is Wonder Horse. Could you imagine? Like,
I thought you were going to say One Direction. I was like, that might be slightly tricky, but yes.
No.
Yeah.
That's difficult to do that way. Rest in peace.
Yes,
and all that.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I think I'd love to do like a Sam Fender or like I love an indie rock at the moment, and it's just doing something for me. It's scratching an itch right in my brain. Something funky with like weird indie rock country mix.
Would you ever? Obviously, you're a country singer. Would you ever pivot?
Yeah,
you would.
Yeah, I actually would love to, and I think like when you hear the album, if you listen,
no, yeah,
you know, there's definitely a taste of different things. Like it's not country. Yeah. There's one song that I would say is country.
Right, okay.
Like, and the rest of it is, one of them I would say is real hard folk, you know, it's bluegrassy, banjo-y stuff. One of them is very much rocky. Some of it's quite indie. There's one tune that actually, Outlawed song came out there last week, and somebody told me whenever I first recorded, they're like, this is like a Sam Fender song. It's like if Sam Fender and Zach Bryan had a love child.
Yes.
Here I am.
Yeah.
But
is it disrespectful to say, I think you kind of look a bit like Sam Fender? Do you get that a lot?
4th time this week.
Yeah.
I'll tell you for why.
Yeah.
I was playing the Dirty Onion last Thursday, and my dad was walking around with his iPad, and just walking about
checking the security systems.
And there was this girl, and he said she was just like standing holding her phone like this, just going, I can't believe it. And meanwhile, I just got back from the Sam Fender concert 2 years later, or 2 years earlier, and my dad was just walking past, and he just heard her go, he's just Sam Fender standing up there. It's just Sam Fender. Like, I can't see anything else. And then we had a big musicians night out last Monday. And
that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
All the musicians from Belfast.
Any good names?
No.
Just
all the guys that play in the bars and stuff, you know, the circuit. Yeah. They're all good names. They're all lovely people.
Is everybody
clarification?
Yes. Is everybody connected?
So, yeah.
Yeah.
In a way. But I hadn't met a lot of them.
Right. Okay.
And I walked in and I started speaking to this guy. Yeah, because everybody's working at the same time most of the time. And I started speaking to this guy. He's like, you're the spitting image of Sam Fender. And I was like, that's the second time in the last 2 days. And then 2 seconds later, this other girl that's also a musician walks around. She's like, "Oh my God, you're like Sam Fender." I was like, "Just leave me alone."
No, I see it.
I'm Robbie.
I can see it.
You know, but I wouldn't complain about that.
Yes, there's worse people to be compared to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'll not say no.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's very talented.
He I don't know loads of his songs, but I was slightly jealous of people. You were there.
Phenomenal.
Unbelievable.
Third row back.
Third row back.
Right in front of him.
How do you do it, man?
Pushed. My friend, he's going to love this shout out now. His name's Egg. What's
his name's
name?
Egg?
His name's actually Dylan, but we
call him Egg.
Can
I ask why?
He had a skinhead and he's got a big head.
That's okay.
Well, that's what he tells me.
I
That was before my time.
For a second, I thought that was going to be some sort of illness or something.
No.
Daniel, just stop talking.
No, he's just got a funky wee head. I love him though. He won't mind
funky wee head. Yeah.
He's best friend in the entire world. Love the guy. But he's so ditzy.
Right. Okay.
He's so silly.
Yeah.
And he's gonna kill me. It's so funny. We were standing right in the middle of the pit, and these girls that we just knew, just friends with, were up at the front, and they text earlier and were like, "Oh, we're going as well." So he was texting her, being like, "Where are you?" And she was like shining her torch, trying to get through. And we're pushing our way through. And he goes, "I can see her. He goes, "We're just gonna have to wait here. We can't get past." And I goes, "You can't leave your girlfriend stand up there." It's not his girlfriend, but I was trying.
Yeah.
And he went, "Oh yeah, my girlfriend." And the girl beside him stood, and she turned around and just looked, and I went, "You're so stupid."
Yeah,
I was like, "You're so thick."
Yeah. Great play,
though. And then we stood there for another 2 minutes, and then we eventually started leaving, and then the girl beside us goes, "Sure, your girlfriend's up there. You may as well get up." And I was like, "Whoa!" I just stood. I just wanted the ground to swallow me up the whole time. He just kept pushing, and people were like, I hate people pushing a concert.
Yeah, definitely.
We were being that guy.
Definitely.
100%.
Yeah.
But didn't care.
Also, how many opportunities do you have?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they were happy enough standing where they were, so we're gonna take advantage. But I hate when they like put their arms out and like block you. Just move. Like it's not gonna. People do 6 rows in front of you is not gonna make a difference to your view.
Do you remember? You know what I'm gonna bring up here? Last year, we went to the Comedians Doing Stars in Their Eyes.
Oh yes.
And what was that one? Oh, because you only knew a couple songs?
No, it's
oh, right, okay.
Sorry,
yes.
So we went to see the Comedian Stars in Their Eyes, and I'm a tall enough gentleman, and it was in Limelight 1, the big one.
Yeah.
And obviously a standing gig, and like I'm sorry, I see those types of gigs. It is every man for themselves, like it is to an extent. Like it's every man for himself, and there's a group of girls, and all I did, I think, was there was a free space, and a motto I have in life is you just need to attack the space. If there's a space there, you've got to get into it.
Yes, coach.
And I stepped in this space, and that man barked at me, drunk, barked at me. He said, "What are you doing? There's girls can't see." I turned around, and I said, "See if you ever speak to me like that again in your life." Barked at me. And I said, "I didn't even see them." Might have done. Yeah, no, it was a great night. She was a get a high chair.
Yeah, really small.
Get to the front. But, I mean, so when did you start playing in general? From like no age?
I started musical theatre.
You told me this last time.
Yeah, musical theatre, the Irish country.
This
weird thing that I'm doing.
It's an interesting route. Like
crazy route.
It's
a lot of people do it though.
Right, okay.
Like Sam Fender started a musical theatre.
I've never seen you and Sam Fender in the same room. Well, I wasn't in Dublin, but yeah.
Facts.
Was Sam Fender also in the crowd?
Maybe I wasn't even pushing through the crowd.
Yes, maybe Sam was just trying to get the stage.
Just trying to get the stage. For goodness sake, passing the guitar.
Yeah.
No, I started with that, moved through weirdly, and now I'm here. Like recording an album and doing my own music is something I never in my entire life thought I'd be doing. Not even like, oh, I'm grateful. I am, but not like the idea of like, oh, I'm grateful I'm doing it. Like it was just something I never thought that would happen. I just didn't think it was a route I would have ever went down at all. Never even full time. Not even like,
of course. At this age as well.
That was sort of had to take it like this, but I didn't think I would be doing it full time. Maybe, the odd wee thing, bits and pieces or whatever, but definitely not as a full-time job, as an independent musician that's, you know, recording music and making this. It's crazy.
is.
I'm extremely grateful. I just want to preface that. Like, there's been multiple times that, like, even driving home from Dublin there last week, you know, I cried.
Yeah.
And
Well, I saw your video that you posted
pieces.
when you did Limelight just after the podcast we did before,
Yeah.
and you're quite emotional in the video, and like, I read the caption and you were just saying, you know, about how like there was people singing your songs back to you. Like
that's
that's
gonna make me cry.
like,
Now.
that's
It's
huge.
crazy. Like, I was obviously
Why is that,
supported.
mate? Stop crying. I'm joking.
You really take a downer.
Yeah.
Like, obviously I was supported that gig, and like, as a support artist, like, people.
Yes, as a support artist for people to be singing songs back is great.
I couldn't believe it. Like, obviously my mum and stuff were in there, but like,
yes,
looking out, like, there was people that I'd never seen before in my entire life, you know, singing their hearts out. And
that
screaming.
is crazy.
It's mind blowing, and it's happened a couple of times since. And you know, you get messages now and then. Like, I had one the other week, and it was just like, just, you're so talented. I love the song. I've been showing it to everybody that I can. And you get messages like, I've had a really rough week. You know, this song's really, you know, carried it through.
Yeah.
And like, you look back and the position I was in a year ago and the person that I was then is not the exact same person that I am now.
Yeah.
And like, it's crazy to me that I was listening to songs a year ago that were trying to help me through a weird time, and now a year later, the songs that I'm writing, I'm helping somebody else through a weird time, and it's really, really, it's a blessing, and I'm very, very grateful and very, very humbled by it all, and I just can't believe that I get to do what I do, and it's yeah. Crazy.
That's very cool. That's, I might cry. But and like, not that it's the same at all. But like, and it would be weird if people are coming up and just quoting lines of the podcast. But like, you get people come past, and I got a message from someone who had left Belfast, and was like, "Oh, I've been living over here, and like, it's like a nice wee slice of home, like listening to the podcast and stuff like this, blah blah blah." And even like, there's a guy who messaged me quite often just to tell me like, "Oh, I'm really enjoying it. Like, keep it up, blah blah blah." And like, there's definitely, and I'm sure we've spoken about this before, and there's definitely times when you're like, I could not give it up, but like, you could definitely take the foot off the gas a wee bit with it, because, you know, sometimes the effort isn't worth the reward. Sometimes,
yeah.
Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. And we messages like that are nice to just get out.
They do. It makes it worth it. You know, like, there's been a lot of uncomfortability in the last month of, you know, between money and sleep and even just silly things like, you know, I haven't had a good night's sleep in a couple of days because I'm busy. And you put out a tune and somebody texts you and goes, "I've had this on repeat all day." It's so relatable. Or, you know, 3010 was one that it's mine. Like, it is mine. There's no doubt about that. It's about me. It's a very inner monologue of me. And, you know, it's quite relatable in parts, I'm sure. And like, whenever it came out, it was scary. That was the one song that I've been the most scared to put out ever, because it was so vulnerable. And like, when it came out, people were so receptive to it, which was so lovely. And you know, even people just actually sending a message and saying, "Yo, this is really wow. You know, I really appreciate this," or, you know, it took all that sort of worry and stress away from the release, and it's cool. It's crazy. I as I said, I don't think I've actually fully comprehended even what's happened in the last year, never mind the last couple of months, to now to what's going to happen in the next few months. You know, it's just mind blowing.
And no more cancelled flights.
No more cancelled flights.
Hey,
I actually did almost have one. We went to Manchester in August, and coming home Ryanair delayed it by 4 hours.
You're like, this is us.
I'm not even joking. Like, I was with my then girlfriend at the time, and like, and that settled me a bit. You know, I actually had somebody to speak to.
Yeah, definitely.
But like, I'm sitting there going,
be grim by yourself.
I was like, I have to go home. I was like, I'm not going to get home, and like, I don't like Manchester. I don't want to be here any longer than I have to be. Like, get me on the plane, and get me back to Belfast. Yeah. Like, I don't like Belfast majority of the time, but it's home. You know what I mean? I want to get back.
Yeah.
But no more cancelled flights.
No more cancelled flights yet. Yeah. We'll see what happens.
We had a delay coming home from London as well, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just don't have great travel luck.
You don't?
No.
Yeah, I mean, 9 flights is pretty grim. But
disgusting.
Yes, and very finally, have you any plans to do some sort of like a wee Christmas tune? No. Nothing.
Parts of the album come out just obviously between now and then. So there's one more release before the album comes out. So that song's called Somewhere Between.
Okay.
It's the title track of the album. It comes out on 27th of December. The other tunes right now, Our Lost Song came out on Friday, 30 Time came out 2 weeks ago. And yeah, they're doing quite well actually. Heavy Hands is just about to hit 1,000, which is taking its time. But you know, whenever you look at like Battle Scar that has 28,000, you're sort of going, why is this one not got?
Yeah.
But then it's okay.
Come on, guys. I'm
grateful for everybody that,
of course,
that actually pressed on to it. No, nothing else until then. So the 27th of this month we have Somewhere Between comes out. 3rd of January the album comes out, and the 9th of January is the big headline show. Tickets are in my link tree, my bio on all my platforms, etc.
Unreal. Robbie, thanks very much for coming on to the Dolecast. Thanks for gracing the set with your presence. And good luck for everything coming up. All the links will be in the description, if I remember. And folks, we'll see you next week. Yes, thanks. Send me a message. Yeah. Thanks very much.
Thanks for having me.
We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.